Hello, YouTube. I'm back. Can you believe it? It's only been a couple of months. We've had quite a bit going on here. We've had one wedding and a graduation, and I have some video of what our property looked the day of the first wedding because of the quarantine and stuff. We ended up having it in our own backyard, which was quite the litmus test to having your all your flower gardens in place and looking beautiful. So, and at the end of this video, I'm going to go ahead and show you some of their professional pictures that got taken so you can kind of see how the aesthetics of their venue turned out. It was super fun. But I am missing being on here and giving regular tours and stuff. I feel like I have had the year of the flowers that I wanted to. It's definitely been all in for that, and I actually think that I have a lot of vegetables that have gone to seed that actually I used in different different things, different bouquets and stuff that have come in handy too. So I will end up doing some seed saving, and I'm kind of excited about that too. But I'm gonna do a video and as is. So we just got back from a vacation to the Oregon coast. We were playing with my extended family and having all kinds of a good time, but I have not done anything to get ready for you. So there is some weeds, there is some definite plants gone to seed, and there's some harvest to be done, and we're just gonna jump back in. So I don't know if you can see it, but the people who house sat for us and took care of our animals when we were gone, they left me a little message down in the creek bed down here, and I don't know if you can actually see it. Let's see if I can zoom you in and see if you can catch it. Can you see the message down there in the rocks? Oh, maybe. Oh, you'll have to tell me if you can see that. Can you see it? I hope you can. There's actually two of them, but I think you can only see the one. But kind of cute, kind of fun. All right, it's time for the tour. I may have gotten distracted picking this lovely bouquet of sweet peas. I wish you had smell-o-vision. I do this every year and it doesn't get old, and it's worth repeating every single time. But I gotta show you into this massive jungly space. There's a lot of goodness in here, and there's a lot of stuff that's been neglected and gone to seed. I am starting to think about my fall garden stuff. I'm starting to think about how I would plant and where I would plant and what I would plant. But before we get there, I'm hoping that you'll appreciate some of the things that's gone completely to seed and some of the stuff that's just getting started. And I know I've been calling it the year of the flower, but I might need to call it the year of the zucchini, or courgettes, as my UK friends say. But I actually was snooping along this flower bed here. This is my herbs down this side, actually mostly lavender. But there's a few surprises in there, and then also down this side, let's see if I can move you right there, see? And so I might have to take you off and show you some of the fun things that I find in there. The wedding that's in 10 days, my second son, Sam, is marrying his princess, little Miss Katie, and her flower colors are white, blue, yellow with greenery. And I'm gonna have quite a role in providing some of the flowers. And so I'm hopeful for sunflowers. I have different sunflowers around the property, ones that I've grown from birdseed start all the way to the big massive ones, which I don't think you can realistically use in a bouquet, but heck, it would be fun to try. But these right here, so these came self-sowed and came back. They're definitely in the sunflower family. But I don't see the blooms coming yet, so I'm hopeful, but I'm pretty sure this is one that will actually put out multiple blooms. So we'll see. The other thing I want to show you is my birthday present. Last week was my 45th birthday, and my husband got me something, and my kids have been teasing me, which any of you have high school age and college age kids, and now out of college age kids, because this girl's getting old, then you know that they make fun of you. So they're making fun of me, and I want to try to share it with you. And it comes from my birthday present. And this is it. It's a hod. It's a basket. And basically my kids were making fun of me for getting a brand name basket, which there's the name on it and all of that. The idea for me that I like is the idea that you can harvest like a basket full of tomatoes, and if one of them is a little juicy or squishy, it doesn't ruin the bottom of your basket. Designed perfectly for it. So we'll put this in there. But they were making fun of me because last year, maybe for my birthday, or I think it was for my birthday, they pulled together their money and got me a Hori Hori. Now this isn't an actual Hori Hori brand, it's like a Black & Decker. But the name of this tool is a Hori Hori. Best tool ever. It's a must. This one's a must. I use this all the time for all different jobs. So now I have a Hori Hori and a hod. I feel like there's a poem in there or something. So I do have another little basket that I got since I was out here last, and I'll show you that when I'm harvesting my chamomile. But let's go take a tour. Let's start to see some things. Okay, so I want to go slow so I don't make you sick with movement, but so there's where some of those sweet pea blooms are coming from, and obviously I have my lavender is in beautiful bloom all the way across, but look what's hiding in here. Do you see? Yes, a baby pumpkin. Yay, the little tiny decor ones, which I'm really excited. There's actually a couple of them coming on, and I believe that that was a random start one that came from probably my compost pile or something last year. And these are the sunflower, I think these were a multi-bloom. I think they'll come on here pretty quick here, so hopefully they make it happen before her wedding in 10 days. And one of the videos that I'm going to make coming up is how to collect seeds off of nasturtiums, because I got a lot of nasturtiums this year, and I'm excited to share how that goes. I like to collect seeds and give them out as Christmas presents. So last year I gave scarlet runner beans. That's what's growing up almost over my archway, so I'm excited about that. And so I was pretty much, the other thing that's coming down here is just baby lavenders that I've started from seed, which are, it's exciting when you start stuff from seed. It's kind of like that feeling of when you put food on your plate, like eggs or chicken eggs or harvested meats or, you know, vegetables. So it's exciting. And of course we have some grapes coming along in here, which that's always super fun too. I don't know if you heard that noise just now in the background, but it's the sound of quail. And I have quail, Quaternix quail now, and I have quite a few of them coming out in my incubator. Babies gonna be hatched this next week, so you might get a little video of that. Hollyhocks are in full bloom. These self-start every year and I just let them go. I got calendula and sweet pea growing in there. It's just fun. I'll show you from the inside now. This is one of those silly things that I've done that I'm actually kind of charmed by, and I want to tell a story behind it. So I think way back in one of my original videos you might see this, but I was down at the river where the Clackamas River meets the Willamette River. Clackamas River meets the Willamette River at Clackamas Park, and my friend and I are bird watchers, and we were watching the different waterfowl that were out there and figuring out if there was any that we hadn't seen. And this rock was in the gravel, and I actually thought it was a duck egg, a wild duck egg. And so I went running over to pick it up, and here's this perfectly formed rock. Well, I put it in my pocket and I brought it home and I stuck it right here. And for the next, I'm not kidding you, probably a year, I would put it up and the robins would come and perch on this post and kick it off and knock it to the ground. And the next time I was out, I would come out and I would pick it up again and they would knock it down. And I knew it was them because they poop on the post, so I had evidence that they were the ones who had been here. Well, last year I finally decided I was done with the little war, and I glued it in place. And now they sit on top of it or they sit beside it and all of this. But I've enjoyed this little thing perching here so much that I've started to get rocks from different vacations that our family takes. So this is a piece of lava rock from up Paulina hiking, and there's some rock from our Alaska trip on the other one, and some what's that black rock called? Anyways, nothing that's going to hurt anything. It's from places that aren't going to be diminished or anything like that, but it's super fun. And I thought I would tell you about it. It's fun to have those kinds of memories. And here we go. So this little area I've shown you guys before. This is herbs. When you do the back to Eden style or the potager style, you get to put your herbs right into your space because you're not using a rototiller anymore, which I so love. Well, the rosemary is obviously super healthy. Oregano is going to seed, and the thyme went to seed already. But I am getting ready to do some more harvesting to cultivate my own Italian herbs. I'm kind of excited about that. I think some basil is coming on strong enough that I can actually add that in there. I have some parsley, and I'm looking forward to mixing them all together. But the reason I'm down here is because I wanted to show you, this. My tool is poking me in the thumb. This is a lovely sticker bush. So it is a weed, but it's been interesting to me how many of my friends live in different areas where they don't have the sticker bushes growing with blackberries going wild like we do here. It's blackberry season, and it's on my to-do list to get out there and freezer pick some blackberries, so I'll probably show you, because we literally have hillsides and invasive sticker bushes with very big blackberries, like really good sizers. Now they're obviously thorned, and so sometimes, like when I went to the grocery store and I see blackberries for sale, or not grocery store, but like a big box store where they have plants for sale, and I see blackberries, it always makes me laugh, because like, you don't have to plant, you don't have to cultivate it. That's one berry that Oregon does like nobody's business. And so, and actually down at the creek where I first started this video, if you look on the back side of the creek, there's an entire hedge of blackberries, and they're cooler because they're right on the water, and so they'll come on at a different time. So we kind of actually get a second season of blackberries off of them. And so yeah, so I might show some videos of that, because it's just so regular. So for me, this is a sign of not being in my garden quite so much as I need to be. And there's a few other weeds. This is a weed growing up in here too, but definitely not the complete abandon to weeds that you get if you're not doing a deep litter, deep mulch method. And they definitely are easier to pull out when it comes time to do it too. So I appreciate that. I did grow this. I don't know if you can see this. Maybe I'll bring you a little closer. Okay, so I grew this from seed, and it's a vine, and it's a flowering vine, but I don't have the most masterful memory on, and I planted literally hundreds of new flowers. Well, maybe not hundreds. I have so many new flowers to me in the garden that it's a trick to keep up with the names. So I'm really excited to see how this blooms out, because it's definitely right up there with my scarlet runner beans, making this start to fill in. So I'll have to show this to you when it gets a bloom, and you can help me figure out what it is. This is exactly what I wanted it to be too. So I have nice, my trellis system for my tomatoes has worked out fantastic. I've been able to take the primary stalk and just twist it around so they're supported. A few branches are splaying out and laying down, but it's not too much, and a lot of those I can just clip back and keep up with the main vine. But this is what I was hoping for. I wanted this to be just as jungly as can be, and so my climbing runner beans are fully up to the top and kind of looking for places to go. They are wrapping around my tomatoes a little bit, but I'm not a color inside the lines gal, so this just makes me happy. And actually, while I was standing here, I actually think that I got my first beans off of this one, so that's kind of cool. I think these are, oh, I'm not even gonna try to remember. I don't know, it's a bean, that's what it is. But see how pretty it looks back there too, up with the birdhouse that's growing up over that? It's fun. Sometimes I see birds come in and sit down on this jungly area, and it just makes me happy. It's so pretty. So tomatoes, I've eaten 2 early tomatoes, 2 red ones, and my yellow cherries have coming in. So one of the things about Oregon is that we start to get the weather gets above freezing sooner than most people when we can to plant, but then we didn't even get our first real good sunshine until this last week. So everything's kind of behind. So I did have crookneck squash and beans, a different set of beans, some purple beans that I have planted over in a different place with my dinner tonight, and we are starting, the beginning of the harvest is coming, but I could have done all kinds of courgettes or squash, but I'm gonna harvest those with you guys because it's sort of embarrassingly overwhelming. Like, what am I gonna do with all this? But we have, with the newlyweds, we have several of them that will want to do frozen zucchini for making banana bread or zucchini bread, and I have another friend who lives in town and she's gonna love helping me eat some of it. So we got places to share, but let's go see some more. So I have potatoes here, but the white blooms here are telling me these ones aren't ready. There's some on the other side of the garden that are. And I did harvest some big bakers, and I videoed it, but my card was full, and so it didn't catch it. So I was kind of bummed about that. So maybe I'll stick the picture in here. But I wanted to show you deep inside the jungle of zucchini, all of these plants have an abundance coming in on them, and it's so fun, and it's a lot. So I'll show you my end harvest off of that. You can see there's more courgettes here, and a couple different kinds mixed in there, mostly one kind. Tomatoes are coming on nice and strong here. They look like they need a good drink of water right now just because we've had such good sun breaks. And more, the nasturtiums are all creepy crawling through my zucchinis, and I did plant some more scarlet runners there, so it's going to be beautiful, and we're going to have scarlet runner beans. I didn't even realize you could eat them until last year, but they're really sweet and really good. So these are marigolds that I planted from seed, and they're looking like they're close. A little weeds squeezing in there. There is another one of those vines that I planted, and I don't know the name of. So here is an up close look at it. Let's see if I can get you in there. So if anybody knows what it is without any helps, I'll have to go look at my plants and see if I can figure it out. We got some tomatoes behind there that are coming in with the purple. See, those are going to be great. And Roma tomatoes down here, beets, cilantro that came in, and it looks like it's headed to seed already. So I might have to see if I can take the top off and make it last a little bit longer, which I've been having success with that. These are crookneck squash, nasturtiums at the base of some more beans. There was radishes at the base. I have noodle beans on the wigwam, which they're just getting going. There's carrots behind there, and dill and chamomile laying down on the ground. I think I'll be harvesting that tonight, and looking forward to it. It's looking pretty good over here. I had some arugula and some more carrots and some red chard and some bunch onions. They're all mixed in at the base of here. And up here I've already harvested some beets, and that's where I got my big baker potatoes. I have some eggplant, but I don't think it's gonna make it. There's some kale, and up the white flowers down there on the end are actually like turnips that went to seed, and I liked the white flowers, but now they just need to be yanked out. Oh my goodness, I have so many sweet peas. I'm gonna have to harvest that and then show you a picture of that too. So many things. This is my artichoke bush, and I had 2 bushes, and we ate like 25 artichokes off of them. We ate them until we couldn't eat them anymore. And then I let these 3 go to seed because they're in the thistle family. and I wanted to see what they look like when they opened. So these are coming. They're kind of beautiful, aren't they? Back here I have some more sunflowers. These were all planted, hopeful for the wedding. That's a crookneck. Those are the potatoes that I'm going to harvest today. And I think that this artichoke is ready to come out completely, but we got some salad greens and some spinach and parsley, and my little cucamelons are starting to take off. And these are turnips. Oh no, parsnips. So these are one of the things that's gone to seed. These are radishes gone to seed, but I've been giving them to my ducks and chickens and stuff, and they really like them. And I've have other areas where I've let radish go to seed before, so it just throws the seed for me. But this is chard, and I have been just breaking off these tops and letting them keep work for me, and it hasn't been too bitter. I've enjoyed it. When we went on our vacation, I had topped all of these off, so they are working really hard to bolt. But I still might come in and just take the tops off and feed them to my chickens and ducks and see if I can water it heavy and get some more of the big leaves on the bottom and see if I can do it. There's a lady that lives down the road from me who has a kale plant that's 4 years old. Winter's over and she just cuts it back and it keeps coming in. And the chard does not disappear in the winter for me. So it's obviously trying to bolt and go to seed, but I wonder if I could actually cut it back enough that it would keep producing even in the colder months, like maybe more prolifically. I have some fresh seeded kale over there, chard over there, so I'll have an opportunity to see which way I like best. But I'm kind of curious about that. In the middle down in here, I have some pineapple ground cherries, which I had a tiny little one, the first one today, a tiny little one. Those are sweet, sweet, sweet memories for me. The cucamelons and the pineapple ground cherries I actually got to give to my mom before she passed away, and she'd never had them in all of her gardening years. So it was super fun to have that, and I'm still wanting to do that, to grow and experiment and plant things that I haven't planted before. My cucumbers are starting to take off. I can see a cucumber from here. Yay! I might have to harvest that and show it to you. But they're a little slow. I always deal with slugs and birds in the spring, and so it takes me a little bit. And so I think I've decided that I'm gonna start them indoors later than I've been starting everything else. Wait just a little bit longer. Everything for me is a practice of patience, and I seem to fail the patience test over and over 100 times. And I'm slightly okay with that and slightly not okay with that. So I do have some lettuce that's bolted over here that's gone to seed. I think it's worth showing you. I'll show you. See this? It's all starting to get the little like dandelion puffs on it, and so when it dries up just a little bit more, this is gonna dump seed. Oh, actually it's already ready. This is one that we got the dandelion puffs, so each one of those is a little seed. And I'm gonna let some of it reseed because I'm okay if that spot of my garden just always has an undergrowth of lettuce. I think it might be more successful than me trying to keep up with the lettuce growth all the time. So this one won't, obviously, because I just picked it and it's not quite ready. But there's so many. Can you imagine how many seeds are in just one thing of lettuce? That's a lot. So I do have some bok choy and some cosmos. I have a lot of volunteer tomatoes. Sometimes I keep them, sometimes I don't. Some broccoli, and I don't know, I think it's time for me to harvest some stuff and maybe include some of that in here. I make no apologies. Everything has gone to seed this year. And so these suckers are turnips, and it's already dumping seeds in my space, unless something's coming in and eating these things, which is very much possible too. There's a lot of green. Somebody said that these green things are edible, but yeah, so the seeds are still green on most of these, unless they're, yeah, so each one of these little guys is a seed pod with seeds inside, and I'm gonna let it actually dry out and drop. I don't even know if I 100% like turnips, but Lord knows we got enough seed coming to give them a good try. So I'm gonna lean that up there to get it out of the pathway, and we are gonna harvest those. So that green tub is filled with water, and when I don't feel like getting my full garden hose out and watering everything, I use a container and I do that. And it's kind of handy and nice. But these potatoes I actually planted over last winter in November. Like, I put them in November, and they were one of the first things that came up this spring, and I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what I can get out of it. Before I do, though, I want to go get my hod. So I have my hod basket here to show you. Here are some of the crooknecks. I like to cut them and harvest them when they're about this big. I like them smaller, the better. And I usually chop them up and almost like simmer them in a tiny little bit of water, like a quarter cup of water, just to soften them. And then I use a little salt and pepper and a tiny bit of butter on them. And they're my favorite, one of my favorite garden treats. And we've already had some of them this year. I'm kind of excited to have them keep coming. But it's time for potatoes. Let's see how we do here. Okay. Right out of the gate, we got taters. I don't know the names of my potatoes. I usually buy, something ate this one. They're digging it up on their own. I buy either the small brown ones or the big bakers, or I buy the purple potatoes or the red potatoes, and if they go to seed, I plant them. I don't spend a lot of time buying seed potatoes. I try to create them and, not have to pay for them. So, there's some more. Some of these are tiny, some of them are bigger, but we got potatoes. I like them. New potatoes, baked potatoes. These aren't sitting very deep, but there's sure plenty of them. And I'll probably have my work cut out for me. So this is, like I said, this was starting from last November, and I don't know how. Oh, yep, there's more. That's a pretty good harvest off of one plant. Let's see. I think there might be 2 or 3 plants close together here. Oh yeah, we got more coming here. Oh, not a very big one. Let's see. Little guys. Ground's a little dry over here, which kind of surprises me because we've been so wet. Oh, something got that one. I told you, people say that moles don't eat very much. That's not true. They eat things. It's a lot of food, actually. And I guess I don't mind too much. I have noticed some rabbits, wild rabbits across the yard. I didn't think they'd gotten in here, but maybe they have, and I'm not paying attention. Okay, let's see here. I'm leaving this because this wheat head is actually going to be really pretty in the bouquets for the wedding, and that makes me happy. So chop and drop it is. I will not take this and put it on the compost. It'll just stay there and turn into nitrogen for next year, which is one of the reasons that this way of gardening is easier, because it just is. It's easy. Alright. I don't even know how many, if I'm getting all the potatoes here. I might have to come back with a shovel and get some more, because I feel like there's pockets of these potatoes that are awesome. Oops, I scuffed that one. Yay! Potatoes are like Christmas, little presents under the ground. Part of the fun, isn't it? Hide and seek, and there's a million of these little tiny guys. Alright, let's see here. I might have to come back in and get a shovel. Oh yeah, see, look, I feel like there's so many. I would say that putting these down in the ground in the fall
was a good idea because it made them slow grow, but probably put out more than normal. So there wasn't too many of them. Maybe there's, oh, more. So I might stop and use a shovel and see if I can get any more out. Oh, I did find a few more, a couple big ones. I got one of them with the shovel, so I'll have to eat that one right away. And then a handful of these little ones, little babies, little sweet potatoes. But I'm happy with this little area. And so then I just chopped and dropped the potato green part, see, it's right there. And then I'm actually gonna cover this whole area with grass clippings that don't have seed in it. So towards the end of the summer when the grass has seed in it, then you have to be careful or you'll reseed your garden with grass seed. Ask me how I know what that was like. So, but I'm gonna cover that right now so you can see that it's, just leave it as you go. There's actual beans on the back here that will probably do better. That's actually a loofah back here, or birdhouse gourd, one of the two. And obviously it's been not getting as much light, and I'll probably have to water these because it's really dry. Dry is not a problem we usually have. So, but this makes it so that it's tucked in for next fall, and it's ground cover so I won't have weeds, and it'll break down and turn into nutrients, and I'll probably add some manures and different things to add even more, but for now that's a healthy covering. And if I want to plant something in there this fall, I'll dig down to the dirt and plant it and leave just the space for the plant to come up. And so not too shabby. Some big bakers in there in my new hod, showing it off. This is kind of funny. So there's a section that has about 15 of these right next door, and this whole time I thought they were leeks or giant bulb onions, but nope, they are most definitely garlic. And I just want you to know that when I thought they were leeks, I chopped one of these things up and ate it in a soup, and it was very strong flavored. And I remember thinking, these are strong flavored, and they were a little bit like too firm, not to my taste. And I was like, but that would be because these are supposed to be the giant garlic, and they're just now starting to section out, and so I picked them too soon for giant garlic. But I think that's funny that I made basically garlic soup or whatever, garlic stir fry. So the first part of this video was shot on July 22nd as a garden tour, and this last little bit is from the day of the wedding. I wanted you to be able to see the property, and it was pretty cool. And right after the wedding, me and my friend Rania harvested rabbits and ducks, and of course here's some chamomile too that I was telling you about. Hi YouTube, it's been forever, over 2 months, but we've been in wedding prep and plan mode over here, and today is the day. And so this isn't quite a garden tour, but it is one. I want to show you our place in all of its beauty and all of its preparedness before the chairs come in and tables come in and all of that. So we did end up with a wedding at our house. That would be my hubby over there flirting away. Today's the day. So here is how my mother-in-law, my memorial garden for my mama thing has turned out so far. We've had lilies blooming and all kinds of fun flowers coming up, and this will just be so much fuller and thicker next year. But I'm very happy to say that my clematis is growing up in there in the midst of the sweet peas, and we are just enjoying this. We took out the fence across the back to make it so that we had the view, and when we decided we loved it so much that when we rebuild it, we will keep the fence. We'll put the fence down
out of sight so that we can have our property secured for our animals, but that we wouldn't have to block our view, because look how pretty. See, obviously you can see where the arbor's going to be. And say hi there, dude.
Hi.
Wedding day.
How are you?
Yeah, that'll work. Yes. There was a lot of canceled things. Canceled caterers, canceled hair, canceled makeup, canceled venue. But in the end, weddings come together, don't they? And all you need is the him and the her and the pretty dress and the pastor, and away you go. So this is just fun. Okay, and so we strung lights overhead, which that will have to show off later. Getting ready there. And look at my patio flowers. Just enjoying everything, all manicured out and pretty. So the fence is still there on this part, but we'll eventually take that out too to match the view of the rest. But you guys saw me in the spring when I was making my decisions to start so many things from seed and enjoy all of that. And so the wedding didn't actually get moved to here until 2 weeks ago. So it's been good that we had all of the prettiness in play. So it was just, you know, elbow grease and bells and whistles here to get it to be as lovely as we wanted. So it's kind of here and here. So one of the things that Jess on Roots and Refuge does, she always has a spot that's charming her more than the rest. And I have one, and it's over here. Look at this. Look at this right here. Isn't that just gorgeous? It's so pretty and full. And I started the lupine from seed. I started the alyssum and the nasturtiums and that. I can't even remember what the name of this is. Does anybody remember what the name of that little yellow thing is in there? There's some snapdragons hiding in there. Sunflower is gonna come up. So we have another wedding in 3.5 weeks that's not at my house. But her flower is the sunflower, so hopefully those hang on. So appreciating the pretties everywhere. We got a lot of TLC done on our property to make it spiffy. And then we have the garden, but I'm not going to do a full tour. I'll just do an overview here. These have all been started by seed too, coming alive in here. It's awful pretty. Here's another angle that's I'm enjoying. My trellis is starting to come together. Sweet peas are bloomed, herbs look good. We have quail and baby bunnies and ducks that are almost full grown, and it's just looking so pretty in there. So I'll do the full garden tour later. But for now, just wanted you to enjoy. I wanted a record of how nice and lovely everything was looking. Lavender, so it's awful pretty. So this flower bed, most of the plants in here are new this year. We even got a little rose that's blooming right there. And then we added a lot of her color palette into this flower bed. Looking so pretty. Oh, we gotta move those chairs out of the way. We were sitting there last night watching and listening to the fireworks. And there was a lot of them that you could see out over here, just above the tree line. And you guys have seen my creek before, but it's just looking so pretty. Just thought I'd share a little bit. I wanted to give a shout out to our amazing photographer and our amazing florist. And so there will be a link down in the notes below the YouTube video to make sure you can find them. But it's rue photography and songbird floristry, and I just appreciated how well they did. So if you're in the Pacific Northwest and you're looking for a referral, I hope you enjoy. Thank you again for coming by and watching my channel, and the few extra things I said would be in this video will be in the next, because this one was plenty long. So fish and bees and a few other things, graduation. We'll see you next time.